When you start writing AI prompts like this, AI stops being a toy and starts being your personal assistant. Using AI to answer questions, summarize text, and write emails is helpful, but that's not where the real power of AI lies. If you really want to use AI to become more efficient in doing boring tasks and get more time for doing the fun stuff, this video will teach you the techniques for writing truly powerful AI prompts. When I first started playing around with AI, I used to think it was a quirky tool for writing mediocre dad jokes and cliché wedding speeches. I've come a long way since then and embraced AI fully, both in work and private life. During this short video, we will create an AI prompt that generates a full-length podcast with content tailored to your needs. Your own personal podcast that you can use during your work commute, getting ready in the morning, or just relaxing with a cup of coffee. You'll find a link to the complete prompt in the video description so you can download it and create your own personal podcast. Let's get started. Step 1. Context. When I write long AI prompts, I normally never write it into the AI tools itself. I use a text editor. And the reasons for that are very simple. First of all, text editors are made for editing text. And I would like to save the prompt that I'm writing. Why that's important? Well, we'll get to later. In this video, I'm using Notepad++, but you can use Word or any other text editor that you prefer. The most important key to writing great AI prompts is context. Why is this important? You will get a much better answers from the AI when it clearly understands what you're asking for. Let's look at the first section of the prompt. In the first section, we introduce the basics, such as wanting the output to be a podcast script and making it suitable for reading. As you can see, our first step isn't to ask a question, but to set the stage, introduce the context of this prompt. If you want truly exceptional answers, include a master prompt. A master prompt is another essential tool for proper prompting, and if you are unfamiliar with how to use master prompts, slam that subscribe button because that's a topic I'll be talking about very soon. Step 2. Settings. Once we've established context, it's time to produce content. And what better place to begin than everyone's favorite topic, the weather. In this prompt, we ask the AI to summarize the weather at my location and not to list temperatures throughout the day because lists don't sound well on podcasts. Yes, I instructed the AI to never use lists in the contexts, but when I ran this prompt, the AI simply didn't listen regarding the weather, and I needed to spoon feed the thing. That's how it is sometimes with AI. But that's not really what caught your eye here, was it? What do I mean by short summary, and how does the AI know my location? These questions bring us to how you should start every large AI prompt with a list of settings. The settings section is always placed at the top of the prompt. I'll walk you through the settings for this prompt a few lines at the time, but first, why do we need settings? Settings make your prompt reusable and easy to share with others. Reusing and sharing is time saved for everyone, time you can spend on fun stuff instead of boring, repetitive tasks. We first start by establishing my location and which languages I know. You now know the source of my location in the weather prompt, and the languages will become apparent later. The next step is to introduce some of my interests and clarify what I'm not interested in. I've only listed 3 examples each here to keep things simple, but the more you add, the better. Add 10, 20, 30 on each line. The more specific you are, the better answers you will get from AI. You'll see how I use the lists of interests and disinterests in the final prompt. Next, I list my preferences for temperatures and measurements to ensure that I get the weather forecast in my favorite measurement of temperature, Celsius. If that doesn't float your boat, you can always change it to Fahrenheit or maybe even Kelvin. Finally, we've arrived at the settings that control the length of answers. To control the length of the resulting podcasts, all sections include a maximum length, short, medium, or long. Instead of specifying the length of each section in the prompt, I've created 3 standard lengths in the prompt settings, and all sections in the podcast are either short, medium, or long. All your prompts of a certain length should start with a list of settings. Adjusting the values in the settings controls the output of the prompt. As you've probably realized by now, you can easily adjust properties of the podcasts such as your location, your interests, and your desired length simply by modifying the settings. On a side note, I've seen similar approaches to settings by inserting an all caps phrase in curly brackets within the prompt. Don't use this approach, because changing the prompt settings is substantially easier when you gather all the settings at the top of the prompt, rather than having to read through the full prompt to find bracketed phrases. Additionally, the bracket approach can't reuse a setting. You will have to repeat the same setting multiple times. For instance, the final prompt uses your location and the response length multiple times. Step 3. Triggers. We've got one final trick, which is to use triggers to add variety in the content depending on external factors. Let's illustrate. Improving your skills is essential for both personal and professional growth. Can we include in our podcast a bit of knowledge every day? Yes, we can. I'll illustrate with an example targeted at a software developer, but you can easily modify this prompt to include topics relevant to whatever walk of life you may find yourself in. We begin by instructing the AI to teach us something new. This part of the prompt is not specific to a software developer, and you can reuse this text as is. Note how I used a long summary at the end to specify the desired length of this section. Our next step poses a problem. We don't want to learn something new about the same topic every day. We need variety. How do we solve that? Like this. We use a trigger, in this case the day of the week, to change the output of the prompt. Triggers add variety to the response and are used to turn content on or off. Let's see the full prompt. This prompt varies the result depending on the day of the week. On weekends, we skip the section entirely. The target of this prompt is software developers, but you can simply change the topics for each day to adapt this prompt to exactly the topics that apply to yourself. Triggers are limited only by your imagination. Here are a few other examples. Include a list of birthdays for people you care about and prompt the podcast to inform you a week in advance, giving you time to purchase a gift, and on the day reminding you to call them. On the last day of every month, list upcoming public holidays for the next month for your location. Every Thursday, check if bands matching your interests are playing concerts near your location within the next 3 months. We've now walked through 3 concepts that will greatly improve your longer prompts. context, settings, and using triggers. The final prompt, which is linked to below, contains even more use cases for these principles, such as fetching local news, fetching global news, and fetching updates from your favorite websites. All you need to do now is to paste the prompt into your favorite AI tool, put on your headset, and click the button to read aloud.
Welcome. You're tuned into today's episode. Let's dive right in. Weather. This morning in Oslo, expect a chilly start.
More context means better answers. Settings control the result of the output, and triggers add variety. By utilizing these three techniques, you can create reusable scripts that you can save and run over and over again to save time on boring tasks and have more time left to enjoy life. But wait, there's more. You can share these prompts with your friends and with your colleagues so everyone can save time on boring tasks by using AI. Did you add any exciting modifications to the podcast prompt? Share your updates with the rest of us in the comments. Did you automate a particularly boring task using the principles in this video? Share your experiences below. And the next time you open your favorite AI tool, don't just ask questions, set the stage. Context, settings, and triggers. That's how you unlock the real power of AI and make your prompts great again. My name is PK and you've been watching Divide by Zero. If you disagree with anything you've seen in this video, please let yourself loose in the comment section. I love a constructive quarrel. And if you have a great idea for my next video, particularly is there any problem, challenges you have ahead of you, please let me know. Your idea might be the content of an upcoming video. I am truly grateful that you took the time to watch this video today, and I hope to see you in the next one.